Hello, my name is Hannah Rudling and I am Deputy Principal at Al Ain English Speaking School in Abu Dhabi. In this presentation today, I will share with you our experiences as a British international school of implementing Monster Phonics this academic year. Our greatest challenge in the teaching of phonics was achieving consistency across classes in a large school setting. As is the case with many international schools, our student turnover was relatively high. We had children joining us each academic year with differing levels of phonics input from different curriculums and different countries. New staff joining us each year also were subject to different levels of training coming from different schemes and curriculums. We found that some of the phonics schemes we'd used previously were not necessarily manageable for staff workloads and required an awful lot of preparation ahead of every lesson. This contributed to greater challenges across year groups in regards to consistency. We also found that a lot of the reading programs we had in school were not necessarily matched to the progression of phonics taught within lessons. These factors led us to a point where we felt we really needed to take our time in finding the best phonics program to suit our needs, to ensure that we could have that consistency that we were looking for. We looked at a number of the premier phonics schemes that were also DFE approved, and we were looking at comparing price, lesson planning, training, video guides, online resources, and most importantly for us, a comprehensive reading scheme that aligned with the phonics teaching sequence. And if you look at this chart here, this is the one that we actually used in our comparison, and we felt that Monster Phonics provided the most holistic program to suit our needs, including we were looking for things like songs and actions and resources that could make the workload of teachers lighter and provide a better chance of achieving that consistency that we were looking for in our teaching of phonics. One of the main reasons we chose Monster Phonics was it was a ready-made scheme. It was incredibly easy to use. Navigating the website is very well laid out. It's designed with teacher workloads in mind, and everything is there for you just to hit the ground running at the start of the year. As an international school where we have a week to make sure our teachers are not only settled in to school life but also ready to teach and receive a new cohort of students, it was really important that it was very quick, very easy to get our teachers up to scratch and ready to go. This was also supported by the bite-sized training videos provided by Monster Phonics and the support from their trainers online. We found that the monsters were incredibly appealing. They were very engaging. I found that it looked like a scheme that was far more child-friendly than a lot of the others that I had investigated. The colour coding, I think, is absolutely genius. And this was something I was incredibly intrigued to see the science behind this and how this worked in action. Of course, cost is also a factor. And as you could see in the scheme comparison, Monster Phonics was very competitively priced. And this was, of course, a major draw to us as well as an international school. One thing that was non-negotiable for us was that the reading scheme had to match the lessons. And the fact that Monster Phonics not only does that, but it also provides a range of ebooks. This was very appealing to us, alongside the apps that could be used as well within lessons and at home. So most importantly, now that we've implemented Monster Phonics, what is the impact that we have found? Well, we have noticed so far our staff have been upskilled. This is not only through the training provided at the start of the academic year, we've also had a number of refresher training sessions targeted at both teachers and LSAs. And we have found that the lesson planning and guidance has also supported our staff in being up to date with current guidance in line with UK standards for phonics. We found that the consistency we're looking for was there instantly. Our staff were completely on board in implementing the scheme because it was so easy to use, and our students took to it straight away. So we have now achieved across all of our classes the consistency that we were struggling with so much at the start of the year. Also, our children absolutely love it. We've had a Monster Phonics Day, we've dressed up as the characters, we read the stories. The children, they bring the monsters into their play. They are completely involved in the imaginary world of Monster Phonics. We've had a lot of parent support. The scheme is not only engaging for children and easy for teachers to use, but the parents find it supports them with their understanding of phonics. The colour-coded helps them to know how to support and teach their children at home using the ebooks and the reading support materials at home. Our children, most importantly, have made incredibly quick progress. I'll share our data with you in a moment. I was sceptical at first. I felt the scheme moved very quickly. For a school with lots of EAL students, this was a little bit of a worry, but I have been proven completely wrong because our data speaks for itself. We've also found our guided reading sessions are now far more focused as they are completely aligned with the children's current level of learning with regards to the sounds, and they are able to apply the skills they learn in their phonics lessons to their guided reading sessions. So our data. We found that in FS2, this is a comparison from last year to this year. In Term 1, 31% of Phase 2 sounds were achieved at the end of Term 1 last academic year, whereas this year we had 75%. Looking at Term 2 for FS2, which is reception in the UK, last year 71% of Phase 2 sounds achieved. This year we were on 88%. And in terms of Phase 3 sounds, last year, the end of Term 2, we were on 5%, up to 54% this year. So for us, our minds have been blown. These results are more than we could have hoped for. And then in Year 1, look at the phonics screening test. Last year, mid-year, we had 55% of students on track to pass the phonics screening. This year, we were on 71%. And this is in a very large cohort of students, up to 9 classes per year group, with the majority being EAL. And in terms of progress, this is what it looks like. Finally, just to give you a taste of what Monster Phonics looks like at our school, within our school environment, we started the year to launch the scheme with a Monster Phonics Dress Up Day, which the children loved. They were involved with dressing up as the characters and coming into school. We also use Monster Phonics in our environment. We use the lettering in our signage and around the classroom within the environment to get children reading and accessing reading sentences in the environment. Monster Phonics is embedded within our displays, reading corners and up displays on the wall in the corridors. And we use the books not only as guided reading sessions, but also one-to-one. We find that children really thrive using these because they can access them and they have a sense of achievement because they can apply the skills they know to reading the Monster Phonics stories. I hope this video has been useful to you in considering how Monster Phonics might work within your school setting.